Hello, hello, Epic here. This is our town for Farthest Frontier, home state. For this episode, let's talk about some defense strategy. So let's pull up some of our. Let's look at the town here first, and let's cover what is it that we can do in terms of defense. So if we go to our building mode, and if we look at defense, there are two buildings we can create. One is tower, and then the other one is barrack. By far, tower is the easiest one, especially early on because it costs less, and the monthly cost is also just 5 gold per month. And we can occupy those towers with up to two guards, I guess, or two people. And it also has a nice distance that we can use to protect our town. Another defense building is this right here, the barrack. And eventually, as you level up tier 2, then it becomes a fort, and then you can add additional shoulders. As you can see, I only have 5 of them. Haven't had a need to add more. I feel like these the setup that I have, the layout is pretty solid. For most part, all my resources are right here, right? So my stockyard is here, trading post is here, my vault is here, my cellar is here. So when the raiders comes to attack this town, their main focus is really right here. In addition to that, my industrial and is buildings are also in these boxes right here, right? So a little bit of the expensive, I guess, resources are also stocked here, especially as you're manufacturing them. So from that notion, most of the raiders are tend to attack from this side so far. Occasionally, I would also have a group coming in from here. They will try to break through this wall or this door, and then again, sometime they would come through here. But because of this road, what ends up happening is they basically start going toward here and try to enter through this door. But majority of my attack has mostly been from left side. So what I have done is originally I started off with this inner wall that gave me the initial defense that I needed to protect my resources. But then as I progressed further, I added this another section here on top of that. So what that did is, as the raider goes through, they have to break through this wall, right? And if they're successful, right, and while they're breaking through the wall, these towers has a nice range. So they're these two towers will start attacking all the raiders coming in. And suppose they do break through, and majority time they, depending on the size of the raid, they tend to break through this wall for sure. And they would enter here and they are attacking this set of doors that I have there. And for most part, they haven't been able to penetrate that. I think it was only one time they were able to get in, but even after they got in, they still had to deal with this tower. They had to deal with the barrack or fort right here, and there's another tower here that can reach all the way up to here. So it hasn't been easy for them, even if they penetrate through to the second set of doors. Another thing is, instead of just one door, what I found is that having a two set of doors such as this provide additional layer of defense. What I mean by that is, if you have a raid of 50 or 60 people coming in, right? Instead of them all attacking just one door, now what's happening is they're splitting up So half of them are attacking this door, other half are attacking this door. And what that does is it gives us more time for our tower to basically kill them off. And same thing here as they go through these two doors. Some of them would break through one door, for instance, right? And then they're in, but AI, those raiders are not smart enough to stop attacking the door that hasn't been broken and go through here. They'll still continue to attack that door until it goes down. So I think as a defense strategy, this works out great having two sets of door because it buys us more time that's needed. But I'm liking this setup. As they come through here, basically they might be able to go through here, but then they'll still struggle. Another thing I notice is after they go into here, sometime they will go into this door right here. I don't know why. I'm thinking maybe it's because I have a stockyard here, and maybe I don't know. I have some armory and smelting here. Maybe they're trying to get a hold of this premium resource. I don't know, but it works out great for me because they can go through here, but then rather than going there, they would enter this section right here. But when they enter this section, they are dealt with a lot of firepower, right? Because this fort has uh, more army that can shoot more arrows. So this is good for us. And I intentionally put the fort here because I wanted them to. Because if I put it out, well, I mean, it used to be outside here as well. And what I noticed is they would just go straight to it. And I would end up, losing these shoulders, and I rather keep it behind the wall and let them fall for the trap right here, trying to go for the resource while I bring them down. So anyway, this has been working out great. Another thing is right here. I have a door here, and there's a pathway there, right? And there's a door there. There's a pathway there. So occasionally I'll have a raider coming through here, and it used to be where they would attack this corner trying to get in. But now that I have a door here and a door here, what I found is that instead of attacking the corner, they're basically going into this door right here, and here. So that's great for me because I don't want them to get into the main area. I would rather have them go through the outer sections, and that buys me more time, and it also basically just gives basically we just sending them into a section where we're trapping them into a section where we can just shoot them down. So anyway, this setup is pretty good. Now, if they come from this side, which they do, what I have found is that these two towers are enough to put them down. But if not, even if they come in here, they still have to deal with a lot of other towers. As you can see, there's a bunch of them here. And there's some towers, spread out across the city. So I'm not worried if they do come through here because I don't really have any resource. All my resources are on this side of town. So by the time they go in here and they start to penetrate here, I can still knock them down. But I haven't had to do that. I think this setup was enough for me to knock them down. What's been helping is really this road right here. So what I mean by that is when the raiders come, right? They're not this AI. Basically, they don't just go straight through the door, to the door. What they're doing is they're actually following this road. So as they're going on road, what's happening is that this tower and this tower also basically just like start shooting at them. So by the time they go from here to the door, their health is already halfway or they're already almost dead to a point where they're running back. And as they're running back, basically they just dies off. So I think this strategy of having a road basically parallel to your wall is also good. because it gives us a time to start chopping them down as they come through. Same thing here. If when sometimes they'll attack this mine, right, and after that they'll come down this path, and by the time they come here and go back because their health is low, they just dies off. So another thing about defense is when I set up the towers, right, I always make sure that my other tower is covering this tower, right? So this tower was covering this one. This one's also covering this one. There is a tower on this fort. It's also covering this side. So basically, you want to put them in a way where one tower is always in the range of the other tower, so that when they're attacking this tower, this guy can also start shooting them down rather than just waiting until they come nearby. So that's it in a nutshell. And I think what I'll do later on is I will also create another fort right here somewhere, and basically add another section. So now they'll have to deal with not just one section here, but they have another section they'll have to go through before they can get into the main section here. So anyway, that's what I'm working on, and I will also add another layer here similar to this guy right here. Just add another section here, and maybe I'll add a section here depending on my population, but I'm just waiting. I don't have enough stone to expand anymore, so I'm just gonna wait for now. But that's about it in terms of defense strategy and mechanism. What else? Another thing I will say is occasionally what you can do is, like, for instance, sometime I would have the raiders break through both of these doors, right? Because they don't have any uh, reason to go into this section or even this section because it's just the housing there. So when they come through this door, uh, almost all the time they always go through the other set of door as well. But when that happened, what I normally do is I would send my troops by clicking on flag combat area, and I would just send them over to that area. Oops, I didn't click the right one. Right there. And then basically these troops will come out and then go here and help fight it off. So let's just clear that for now. There you go. So that's it in a nutshell as far as defense is concerned. But overall, this layout is quite nice. I'm liking it. I think it's a solid build for defense strategy. So that's it. If I miss anything, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks.